Have you ever wondered what is the best time to meditate? Is it before all the birds and animals wake up? Or is it after everyone goes to sleep? Well, choosing the appropriate time slot can really make a difference for many people, whether or not they establish a meditation practice and then develop it. In this video, I'll be going over a couple of different pointers and considerations of all the different options. This is Kasim Al-Mashat, Registered Psychologist and Mindfulness teacher. Mindfulness meditation and establishing a practice has so many benefits, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, like reducing stress, improving focus, increasing compassion. The challenges for many people is choosing the appropriate time slot. It's something that I struggled with when I began my journey, and I really couldn't figure out for a while. When am I supposed to meditate? Where am I going to create the time for it? Where? So I want to go over some key slots. These are not the only time slots, but I'll be going over the pros and cons of each and then wrapping it up at the end with some key considerations to keep in mind for all of them. So stick around till the end as well. Let's begin with the morning time slot. For many people, they really like the morning time slot for a couple of reasons, because it has some pros, some advantages. Typically, the mind is quieter in the morning. So there's less distractions, the mind is less active in busyness, there's less worries for many people. So it can be supportive for that reason alone. Another advantage in the morning is that there's more time that can be created for it before all the busyness in the day. So it kind of just gets done in the morning. Another advantage of practicing early in the morning is that it really sets the tone for the day. It establishes a sense of calmness and clarity that can carry throughout the day. If you've already done a meditation retreat, you already know that most retreats begin really early. In fact, when I completed my 6-month silent retreat in Southeast Asia, guess what time the wake-up bell was? 3 a.m. That was early. I tell you, I don't wake up at 3 a.m. now to meditate. But that was the practice there. It's kind of building this habit, daily habit, for waking up early and practicing nice and early. So it's just one option, this waking up early, whatever that early is for you. For some, it might be 4 a.m. For some, it may be 6 a.m. or 7 a.m., whatever your early is before you start your day. So that's an option. If meditating in the morning is so wonderful, is it for everyone? Not really. For some people, their morning is so jam-packed that it becomes rushed, it becomes one more thing that I have to do. So it becomes a task, and that's a disadvantage if it becomes a to-do list. Other people find in the morning they're so eager to get going that it's actually more challenging to sit and meditate. It may support them to do something more active, exercise, that can establish their day and then meditate later on in the day. So this is some of the disadvantages. Another disadvantage actually is, for some people, in the morning their mind is more in an anxious worry state. So it becomes even more challenging. Another typical time slot to meditate in is later on in the day. This could be after work or evening. It has some advantages meditating at that time. For many people, it becomes a buffer from the day. Whatever happened in the day, about work or whatever stressors, there's you get to sit and meditate or lie down or whichever way you practice. And by the way, there's a link below about options on how to meditate. Maybe you can find it useful. And also, if you're finding this clip useful so far, feel free to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Okay, let's continue now with this time slot, this evening time slot. What are our advantages? Well, it can really not only be a buffer, but it can help support the nervous system and kind of winding down. So it can be very supportive from the busy, hectic day where we're stimulated by technology and media and looking at things, and a time to regather. So that has that advantage. The other advantage of meditating at night in the evening is many people, when they're really honest with themselves, they go, actually, I do have the time, but I'm choosing to sit and watch something or scroll down in my social media. So the advantage for many people is there's actually a little more time at the end of the day to carve out the time to meditate. So what's a disadvantage then for meditating at night? There's just a couple to keep in mind. One of them is meditating needs to be a wakeful practice. For many people, when they meditate at night, they end up falling asleep in the middle of meditation. Now, is that really a very bad thing? Well, no, if it can support you to fall asleep, great, but you're really not meditating, you're falling asleep. So meditation can improve the quality of sleep. It's a wakeful practice though, so that's a bit of a disadvantage if the meditation is spent sleeping. The other disadvantage for some people is it actually may stimulate their mind because they become aware of a certain thought or a sensation or an emotion, and it can stimulate the mind. They end up staying awake. So it depends again on what might work for you. So let's look at another option before we wrap it all together. Okay, now let's go over my favorite time slot. And this doesn't mean this is the right time slot or the best, but it is the best for me that I've discovered, which is the after lunch. There's a period after lunch, there's a bit of the brain kind of goes, oh, I'm ready to go to sleep now. Especially after working all morning and early afternoon. And it's just really worked for me. It has become something I look forward to, which is really an advantage for whichever time slot you choose. The nice thing about that time slot is there's a natural kind of down or lull in the mind, and it can really energize and boost the brain for the rest of the day. And this is actually what I've done myself. Is the last couple of years I've scheduled when I'm seeing clients one-on-one is I have a longer lunch break where I have my lunch, then I meditate. And the afternoon, when I see clients again, it truly feels like I'm refreshed like in the morning. So it can have quite a refreshing effect practicing in the afternoon. So what is the disadvantages of meditating in the afternoon? Well, for many people is they don't have that time. So may be challenging because of your work schedule, so it might be difficult to create it. It may require some adjustment in your schedule. So that's a disadvantage if you don't have the time, because you have to create the time in the afternoon. But other than that, I haven't found myself any other disadvantages for meditating in the afternoon. But I'd love to hear comments that you may have, not only on this time slot, but any of the time slots. What has worked for you and what has not worked for you for any of these slots. So let's bring it together with some considerations. One of them you probably already got the sense from. It's less important what time of the day, it's more important to establish the habit and routine of practice. That really is the key. So it becomes something you know you do after whatever it is. As soon as you wake up, it's after brushing teeth, it's after your lunch, or whatever time slot it may be for you, afternoon, late afternoon. It's more important to practice routinely as a habit rather than getting caught in what time. And with the time, sometimes I see people, our mind really likes perfection. So, which gets in the way for a lot of things and causes more stress. So for example, someone may say, well, I said I'm going to meditate at 6 a.m. and look at the clock at 6:20. I missed it. Well, it's not like a bus, but oh, look, the bus left. You can catch the next period of practice. If you miss the period of practice, do the next period time slot you can practice in. Another thing to keep in mind really is picking the time, which might be different on different days for you, that you look forward to. You go, I get to meditate now. I get to sit and be in the stillness and connect with my emotions and thoughts and body. It becomes I get to meditate, not a to-do task. So choosing a time that feels most supportive for you, even if it means different days is a different time, but ensuring you're scheduling it in each day on your specific needs. I hope you found this useful and that it can support you in exploring and choosing an appropriate time slot for you to meditate. If you found this useful, feel free to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thank you for watching, and may your moments be filled with ease and may you be present with as many of them.